we had another question from Billy Brittingham.
Jimmy, I was wondering how the talks started for you to fill in for Tim Richmond and Hendrick at Charlotte in 1987, and were there any talks about you running further races in that car that year?
Well, I think, what was it, 87 it was?
Yes.
It was 87. We had some good runs. We led some laps at Richmond. Ended up ninth, I think, but we led some laps. I think we led 3 different times. The leaders would pit for tires, and we'd stay out on our old tires, and it took them a while to get to us and pass us. So we had a good run there, and then we went to Dover and had a really good run. I think we qualified the first round, knocked Earnhardt out of the top 20, which when I came in the pits, he gave me the high sign. And so from there, I guess, kind of a little bit, some people showed some attention. And Jimmy Johnson was the team manager. I think he's passed now, of Hendrick Motorsports at the time. And he called me and said, we want to talk to you about driving the 25 car at Charlotte. And I said, who is this? Jimmy Johnson? So I hung the phone up. And then he called back again. He said, I hung the phone up again.
So you hung up on Hendrick Motorsports twice?
Yeah, I thought they were playing a trick on me. So finally called back and said, don't hang up, don't hang up. It really is Jimmy Johnson from Hendrick Motorsports. And I said, okay. Then when we went from there, so I listened then.
Was running more races for that team ever discussed, or did you know that it was going to be a one-race deal?
No, it was just a one-shot deal.
Okay.
You know, if things could have worked out different, we hadn't gotten that wreck and we had a really good finish. Who knows? But there was a lot of positive things that came out of that. I got some more recognition that I wouldn't have got if I hadn't drove that car, and I think I was probably the Cinderella type deal of that race. So everybody was pulling for me. And after that, we're fortunate enough to get that Alka-Seltzer for 3 years. So, a little limelight, no matter positive or negative, it has an impact. So,
what was it like for you to go to the racetrack that weekend and not have to worry about buying tires, not have to worry about paying for the crew rooms, not having to worry about paying for their food? What was it like for you to go and just focus on sitting in the race car and driving around the racetrack?
Well, going back to Jimmy Johnson, let me say this, said the only way I'll drive that car if you let me put 52 on it so I can keep my owner points up. And at the time, the 25 wasn't running all the races, so they didn't have a problem with that. So that helped me twofold, with a chance to really get some points and with a good finish. But yeah, it was just, I could have got used to that. It was awesome. Now, it just, I couldn't believe every time we turned around, Harry High was putting a set of tires on this thing. And we scuffed all our tires before the race, and I hated it. We had probably 10 sets of tires there, and we couldn't run them because they crashed. But it was an awesome feeling, and it was a lot of pride for me to get to drive that car.
Well, after that wreck, you said pretty much you were devastated that it happened, and you still sound very, regretful today. But overall, how difficult was that for you?
Well, so many people were pulling for me, and for it to go down the tubes like that, they had a big party planned that night with T.G. Shepard was going to be there, and so the last thing I want to do is go to a party after that. So. Yeah, it was. I was probably one of the lowest points in my career as a driver.